Let's give them something to talk about. I see the energy running out. I got a planet to run around. Okay. You ain't do nothing but run your mouth. No, I don't want to be.
Right on.
That's how you're supposed to do it, Craig.
What do except for the echo.
Why are you
I
echoing?
don't know why, because it was my speaker was on.
Oh,
Some
that's
must have
why.
bumped it or something. Son of a bitch.
We're still proud of you.
We're like one of these days we're gonna have like a perfect start to this whole thing, and then I'm gonna walk outside and get hit by a bus.
Well, don't even put that out.
I know.
Jesus.
I know. I should.
Fucking knock on some wood right now.
That's how my head works.
It's all right.
All right. So the welcome. We Jamie and I, we look for people that are either our members or within the affiliate community to talk to, and the people that can add value to not only our community but to the affiliate community at large. And there's probably no better person to ask to have on the podcast. We've had him
again.
We've had him on again. Yeah, this is the second time we've had him on.
Welcome back.
And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Brian Boucher at MidState CrossFit in Merced, and this guy's he's been influential to me and to other affiliate owners especially. He came to our totally unofficial affiliate gathering and gave an amazing presentation, very heartfelt presentation that was completely different than what I thought he was going to talk about, and it turned out to be awesome as usual. So we thought we'd.
I really appreciate it. So when Katie and Craig were like, "Hey, we want you to go speak at the totally not official affiliate summit that Don Fowle was absolutely a part of," I was telling people, I was like, they're gonna let me talk about whatever I want.
That's the best part. Like
Free flow.
We did not want vendors here. We invited vendors. Well, we invited vendors to come support and mingle with the crowd, but we didn't want the presentations to come from them.
You just don't want pitches.
Yeah, exactly right. Thank you.
Yeah.
We didn't want pitches. We wanted real stories from real people talking about stuff that we know will add value. Mm-hmm. And the only I asked Don Fall if he would do just a quick introduction and I actually guided him.
Katie too, right?
Yeah, and I gave him a script, not a script, an outline. I said, "Hey, talk about what's happening in the industry and why it's a great thing to be in
CrossFit."
Yeah, in CrossFit
and a CrossFit affiliate.
And it was cool. It was really good, and there were no bullshit questions and all that stuff. So that was awesome. Anyway, so what's Brian? What's neat? That neat thing that happened, and you need to know is mark your calendar for January 18th. You probably already know about it.
Maybe I don't.
Oh, okay. So the
breaking here.
Well, so the what we did, first of all, was for us, it was break even, because I asked affiliate owners to pay $20 and everybody
to the gathering.
Yeah, everybody paid $20, and then I had one of our members who Brad Barnett, who owns a car dealership or general manager of car dealership, multiple car dealerships,
Priceline.
Yeah, Price Family Dealerships. So he paid for lunch, which was ended up being like $1,300, and we went for the coffee. I got for the coffee and the breakfast, and that was covered by the $20 that the affiliate owners gave. So we broke even, and it was an awesome event. And I think, and everybody got to talk with one another. We shared ideas. I learned a few things. Great experience. Well, they're going to duplicate that model in 2025. Katie's already got 2 set up. She got one set up in LA on January 18th at Becca Voigt's gym. And what I suggest, I said, make sure you go to someone that's an OG or someone that's a maven, someone that's somewhat known within the community that affiliate owners would want to go and see their affiliate
within the local community or just
within the local community. Right.
I would argue local is like within a 2-hour drive. Like if you're, if you think about like seminar staffers, or you think about, is somebody doing something really well, you need to make your circle large enough so that you're not like being local in Merced. If I drive 15 miles, I'm in almond orchards, right? So you almost have to like expand, your like, what does local mean? And so when you think about NorCal, like it should really, if you're in San Jose, your local region should expand all the way up through Roseville. Arguably you could get like into the Sacramento area. That's a bubble. That is a vibe of CrossFit. and like you can definitely steal, but like somebody in Oakland, and if you're in like, you know, like Chestnut or Walnut Creek where you guys are at, like you can definitely like take someone's vibes and recreate it in your own space, and it would still the flavor would land regionally. But if you just did some Texas shit in like NorCal, you'd be like, I don't know if this Longhorn theme that you're doing is really landing right. So like CrossFit can be regionally flavorful like that.
Yeah. So they're doing LA on the 18th, and then in February she's doing Hawaii.
Are they? Oh wow.
Yes, I did hear about the Hawaii one.
Yeah, we all heard about the Hawaii one.
there's an event. I gotta go.
Yeah, by the way, honey.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I think that's either at Pa'ana's joint or Kapua's, and so forgive me, girls, for not remembering exactly. Huakai, and then Pa'ana's gym is also there as well.
At our gathering we encouraged affiliate owners to do it even on a smaller scale. Yeah, 4 or 5 affiliate owners together, once or twice a year. That's not too much to ask. I'm not going to rattle off my 3 things, but that's going to be one of my 3 things. We'll talk about that. Let me just start with a quick story, really cool introduction. There's been some discussion around, especially related to the games, about affiliation and the value of affiliation. I've gotten into some heated in the comments discussions with people about the value of affiliation, which is like not the place to do it, by the way, for your mental sanity.
You're supposed to.
I know. Don't go to the comments.
Joe Rogan. That's 6.
And dude, as I'm driving, I'm driving to work out. There's replaying it in my head, just going, "Oh, I should have said." I'm like, wait a minute, Craig. Like, if that person is getting advice for their affiliate in the comments section on a post on Morning Talk Up, chances are they've got other issues with their business.
Yeah, good luck breaking through on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, my point being, I wanted to talk about, I'm really, I'm like Chase Ingram. I'm extremely passionate about CrossFit, the methodology, and why I do it, and everything. Like, people know who I am because of CrossFit. Like, I owe everything, my notoriety, my business, my success in the fitness industry, all to CrossFit and my passion for CrossFit, and because that methodology works incredibly well. You can do it on your own in a garage. You can do it in an affiliate, which is even better. But it's incredibly practical and amazingly effective. Anyway, so that precursor going into that's one of the reasons why I think affiliation is so important. If you're going to open one of these up and you're going to do it, Craig's gym ain't going to, no one will know who the hell Craig's gym is, except maybe the people never. And that's to say, we could have been successful. I'm certainly, I'm stubborn and persistent, and I have a good business background. I'll probably be successful as Craig's gym. But sitting around Thanksgiving dinner, one of my members goes to Ohio and has Thanksgiving dinner. What do you do? Well, I do this thing called Craig's gym.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, what's that? Well, and then they try and explain it, and there's nothing. But if they just sat down and said, "What do you do?" Well, I'm doing CrossFit.
I'll give you some anecdotal value. Yeah. Anecdotal value. Just yesterday, I got a lead directly from CrossFit.com, forwarded directly to my email, and I had that person's phone number, and I immediately went through my sales process. I went the person had to go to CrossFit.com. They had to go to gym near me, put in my area code, found my gym, clicked on that button, put in the information, and then CrossFit.com directly sent that person to my inbox, in which I did my job now and began a conversation about MidState CrossFit, the CrossFit methodology being executed here with our style, with our vibes, and seeing if it's a good fit. But CraigsGym.com don't exist.
That's right.
It might, but it's too close to Craigslist, and you shouldn't go to that website, most likely.
No, let me finish the rest of this story, because I gave such a long interlude, but I'll get to the point here, because I got this call, and this hasn't been announced yet. So I got a call this morning from Zia, who said, "You got to hear this story." So Zia Rohrbach, CrossFit owner of CrossFit Counterculture. She is on the side. She goes to Rhonda Patrick's house. Most people don't know. And if you don't know Rhonda Patrick, you should follow her. It's a Found My Fitness. She is, she's very much one, she supports CrossFit, but two, she's PhD, just in exercise physiology. She's brilliant, and she backs everything up. Nutritional science backs everything up with data. Every time she states something, let me give you the clinical trials for this. Let me give you the double-blind placebo trials. She quotes everything, backs everything up that she says. Well, so she went home. So Zia is her personal coach. She goes to her house and trains her once or twice a week, and she's pretty much doing CrossFit now. And she asked Zia one time, she goes, "Is it okay if I say CrossFit?" Zia's like, "Of course it's okay if you say CrossFit."
It's a bad word.
But she loves it, right? And she of course now she produces studies about high intensity interval training. She produces about strength training. All of the stuff that CrossFit does so freaking well, and that all of the fitness influencers, the scientific ones, are talking about. Anyway, Rhonda goes to Tennessee for Thanksgiving at her sister's house, and her sister goes, "Hey, I'm doing CrossFit now." And Rhonda goes, "Wow." She goes, "Come to my class." So she went to a class at this former affiliate in Nashville. And Rhonda says, "Where are we going?" She goes, "Well, it's a CrossFit gym." Well, it used to be a CrossFit gym, but they're not affiliated anymore. They say they're not finding value in being affiliated with CrossFit. So Rhonda goes to this affiliate, trains. She said she had a great time. Awesome time. The people were amazing, everything else. And everyone's taking pictures with her and doing all this stuff, all the fangirl stuff. So they're all doing that, taking pictures. And then she got the chance to talk to the owner at the end, and the owner was talking to her. She goes, "How come you don't affiliate?" She goes, "Well, we're not finding value." She goes, "Rhonda, you're not finding a value with that amazing company and a methodology that is working brilliantly for everyone? Like, that's like you're missing out on an opportunity here." Spent 10 minutes with her, talking to her. That affiliate today, that affiliate today contacted Gordon, the regional manager, to reaffiliate.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Two things. Rhonda Patrick has for years now been skirting the line of like just expounding CrossFit by accident.
Yeah.
And so she's like, that is a knockout punch.
Right.
Person. If you get Rhonda Patrick saying the word CrossFit, oh God, that is a lightning rod. And two, if you don't know who we're talking about, and you're listening to this podcast, you must live under a rock, because there's between conversations like that, conversations like we're having with Dr. Tom McCoy through the CrossFit Medical Society, and Jennifer and all the amazing stuff that they're doing, there is not a better time than right now. And this is going to sound super commercial, apparently.
I know.
To join a CrossFit affiliate, become a CrossFit affiliate. The things that we talked about at your affiliate last month that's coming down the pipe is the things that we were talking about in 2012 and 2011. They were like, oh, if you just do this, but there was all this gatekeeping, or like the wheel wasn't quite made yet. And I know there's been some like snafus, some mistakes. The company got sold, some like, what is it when people leave companies and you lose the brain power of it? There's been some turnover.
Yeah.
And some intellectualness, like when you lose certain employees, you lose some of their like intellectual knowledge on a particular brand. So you have to sort of remake yourself a couple of times. And I really feel like CrossFit has done that since 2020. And right now, I know that some bad stuff happened over the past year, and that's a real bummer. But in like that's sad. We were there when Luca, when it all went down. But to take the baby out with the bathwater when we're just about to really fight chronic disease, not only through exercise science, but through like the medical aspects of fighting chronic disease, when we're saying words like Rhonda Patrick and health insurance for affiliate owners and CrossFit coaches. Like, I personally went through the CrossFit Medical Society's pathway to get the biohacker labs. I'm going to, in like 3 days, whenever they come in, just this morning, the labs got drawn. I'm going to know my cortisol. I'm going to know my testosterone. I'm going to know my uric acid, and a litany of other labs that I wouldn't otherwise know if I, one, wasn't a CrossFit coach and in the know, two, following through on what they're providing as new resources, and three, I'm going to get to do something with this data. I get to go to the CrossFit Medical Society directory and talk to a functional fitness specialists. That's now a specialty. Functional fitness as a practice for physicians didn't even exist 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2000, 2005, when Greg Glassman's like in his garage doing weird shit with other humans, like none of this even existed.
Yeah.
So don't get off the boat now. Like we're about to do some rocket ship type stuff.
Yeah, Callie Means, one of the author, with his sister Casey Means, who's an MD, wrote a book called Good Energy, and he was quoted on Instagram saying, "We are entering the golden age of health over the next few years." Yeah. And politics aside, please, this isn't a political statement. Just the focus on processed foods and the discussion around processed foods, the discussions around ingredients, good or bad, like, for or against, the discussions on supplementation, the discussions on exercise and the importance, the discussion on the cost of healthcare, the $1 trillion that, is estimated to be spent on chronic disease effect on healthcare issues.
Sick care.
Right, sick care. All of those discussions are now at the forefront.
Yeah.
Right. Again, so good. No matter what side you're on each of these issues, because I do have a long background in marketing and advertising, just the discussion around it is going to heighten awareness of all consumers, of all Americans.
Yep.
Actually, probably even globally, because now it's being bandied about on social media globally. It's going to get people to look at it and go, you know what? Maybe I should. And I call it the white Bronco effect. If you guys know what that is.
No, please. Preach, Craig, preach.
So ready for this one. So the white Bronco effect is when O.J. Simpson was the broadcast on every single news channel for over an hour, driving down the 405 freeway trying to evade police in a white Ford Bronco. No matter which side of that, where you were on that whole equation, how you felt about OJ or did it or didn't do it, it didn't matter. Nor did it matter that he was evading police for about to be arrested for the murder of his wife and his wife's boyfriend. Did not matter. The sales of Broncos, specifically white Broncos, skyrocketed after that. And it's what's known as the Bronco effect, the white Bronco effect, on just the discussion around just the visibility. Got people like, I really like
I like that car.
I don't know why, but I really like that. I want to look at getting white Broncos in there.
It's stuck in the brain.
But there's a bit of that. All of this discussion now, it's top of mind for everybody. And then you have people, here's what I really like about it is we're looking at plastics. So I throw plastics in there too, because everyone's talking about plastics and toxins. But everybody's finally asking the question, well, okay, so what's causing the high rates of autism? What's causing the high rates of obesity? What's causing the high rates of cancer? It doesn't matter what your opinion of what it is. The fact that people are asking the question and demand and thinking, you know what? Maybe it's not just that I'm eating too much. Maybe it's not just that it's processed foods. Maybe, it's all of these other things. But what can I do about it? Mm-hmm. It's affected my wife and I. She's on this plastic
hard kick,
freaking remove plastics from our household thing. For me, I'm like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, right?
Craig, did you read Good Energy?
Yes, I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it right now.
So I'm not. So just hey, I'm trying my best over here, but the liner that lives on this paper cup right here. Yeah. So all right. So this is from the book. This is from Casey and Carrie Means. All right, in their research and wherever the reference is. So this cup right here is that liner, like you'd have in a Coke can. It's the same thing. That's why the paper doesn't melt with hot water in it. And so the coffee in here, over the course of 15 minutes of being exposed to hot water, the plastic lining will release 25,000 particulates of microplastics into the liquid that is in this cup. And I'm going to drink it. But I'm fully aware of the risk now associated with microplastics of a cup like this. Now, every Dixie cup, every small little cup that a child uses, every bit of plastic that gets put in microwaves releases 15 minutes, 25,000 particulates of microplastic into every drink. More stats from Casey Means.
That's crazy.
One out of 32 Americans are being diagnosed with autism somewhere on the spectrum, moderate, minor, severe.
That's right.
1 in 22 Californians. So we're a bunch of we're all NorCal here. 1 in 22. Now, I'm not sure exactly why such a large increase statewide versus nationwide, but even if those stats are skewed a little bit by overdiagnosis, 1 in 8 Americans live in California. So the number is gigantic.
Wow.
What do you do with a population of cognitive disability, minor, moderate, severe? Some it could be a superpower, but I'm going to argue that that's an outlier, not the common.
Right.
What do we do with a population base of adults, not children? All children come of age that are on the spectrum. How do you manage that? How do you manage 1 in 22 Californians in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s who are autistic? This is a national crisis, to be completely honest.
Yeah, we have multiple families at Diablo, and I've got a member base of about 450. We have multiple families that have children with severe mental disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple, like in a population of 450 members, we've got multiple. I told my wife the other day, I said, we shouldn't know so many kids with autism.
Yeah, was that a thing?
10,
20 years ago?
No, we didn't know.
That math stands out.
We shouldn't know. Yes.
That math adds up. So let's just make your number 300. I know that you have 400.
Can't take vacations. As a matter of fact, one family asked us to watch their son for 2 weeks because he can't take care of himself, and they want to make a big long trip, a 2-week vacation. Right? They're both in their 60s. They want to take, and their son is in his early 20s, but he's severely mentally disabled, and
limits their
limits their ability. It's the impact on the family, impact on family members, impact on every part of your life. And where does that come from? Well, we need to start to ask the questions. That's the thing.
Do you think it's just the plastics, or do you think it's also the ingredients that we're using?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. It could be the pesticides, the glyphosate, could be. But we need to start really scrutinizing all this stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely starting to come around. Like it's coming to the forefront of mainstream.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
So there's two things going on with the CrossFit affiliate that I think is in the brand that I think is super appropriate for this conversation. Now I am not saying, and I'll speak for all three of us, we're not subject matter experts on autism. Like that is, we're
Thank you.
We're
That's
trainers.
Correct.
We're exercise people.
Yep.
I'm really passionate, and I can tell you what muscles do and how best to contract them to elicit change in your body. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, but the SEOs associated with CrossFit fighting chronic disease through every article, every YouTube video ever made, anything that's ever come out of any of the research that Julie Boucher used to do in her undergraduate associated with the fighting of chronic disease.
Mm-hmm.
They will have to come through the word CrossFit at some point in time when they start to deep dive themselves, when they start to do their own Google research and really read into the literature. CrossFit will come up. We were talking about we have the solution to the world's most vexing problem, and that was chronic disease. 25 years ago. I know that 2005 sticks out in everybody's mind, but there was some experimentation happening before then as well. You'd look at the dark horse papers, and which is a hoot if you've never read them. And when you really think about CrossFit counterculture as a brand, and now she's the personal trainer of one of the most important voices for the management of functional health through Rhonda Patrick, and now that's at the forefront of everybody's mind. Gosh, that fires me up as a how to navigate life. Like, how much impact can I have in my life? Like, fighting the good fight. We're the good guys. For sure, we're the good guys. And we're going to do that through burpees and hang power cleans and sumo deadlift high pulls and ring rows and pull-ups. We're going to teach the butterfly, but that's legitimately fighting chronic disease. What I think people actually wanted me to talk about when I went to the totally unofficial affiliate gathering was our experience with the autistic population. About a year ago, we were reached out to start to do CrossFit with autistic athletes. And we have not only autism, we have some Down syndrome, we have some mental health diagnoses that help people fall into the regional center bucket of 300,000 individuals that they serve. And now people regionally are coming to MidState CrossFit and doing personal training, doing CrossFit 3 days a week, and completely having all the same changes as your quote normal athlete would have. And take that, I don't mean that to be rude. I'm just trying to, how do you describe words? That's always the hardest part about navigating these conversations, is like saying the right words to describe an individual. But I have autistic athletes that never slept. They never slept. And now after 25 years, they come to us for 2 sessions, and the comeback subjective data changes. When Adam comes here, he sleeps at night, which means the mother, she sleeps at night. Yeah. And then what sort of ripple effect of health does that do for both of them?
For the whole family, essentially.
It's wild. It's a grip strength that they've never had before. Bringing in their own groceries. This is really something incredibly passionate important for us, because we're in it. We are in it here at MidState. And awesome.
This article that is up on the screen right now was messaged to me while we were talking.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
No way.
Look at the date on it.
Yeah, that was
December
today
to December 4th. So this is,
we knew this was coming.
By the way,
yeah, this is great.
This is Chad Svoboda, my coach, and that's Spencer Michelson. Spencer's family was just interviewed, and they did a whole really nice video series on his whole family, because they've got 4 generations of family members that he went to
do CrossFit everywhere.
Yeah, they do CrossFit everywhere around the country. They did it at their family reunion, but CrossFit heard about this story. He's at Spencer's in the 3rd generation, and he comes in and 2 to 3 days a week spends it with Chad, who has literally helped transform this kid's life using CrossFit. And it was the first time in 22 years Spencer was offered an outlet free of all barriers.
That's the part that drives me absolutely insane. Is so when we were creating our intake form so that we could figure out if it was a good match for because there's a bunch of stuff. There's behavioral issues you need to be aware of. There's safety issues you need to be aware of.
Yes.
Violet out. Like there's reasons to vet all individuals. But what I found is on these intake forms found through like the medical system, everything always leads to no. Too much liability, no, not a good fit, no, we don't have the bandwidth for that. And it was so irritating. We had to create our own form. And I've shared it with Katie Hogan. I think I just shared it with her yesterday, actually. And we're going to share that with the community. And it's ways to find yeses. And the yeses are like, what are some of the behavioral things we need to be aware of? Are they able to use the bathroom by themselves? Are they verbal or are they nonverbal? Do they have a ride? Will somebody stay with them, or will they be here by themselves?
These are great.
Yeah.
These are all very simple questions. And as long as you know that they're coming in at a level that is X, and it doesn't even matter, you just make the trajectory of results as low to the horizon line as absolutely possible, and you just create wins. That's it. Then because what is CrossFit? It's multi-joint, it's safety, efficacy, efficiency, it's meeting people where they're at. And if you're just doing those very simple things, core to extremity, to the best of your ability, There's definitely some isolation work that we'll do, but so what? Life is good. They've never been given the opportunity prior.
So it's this, we got on to talk about, we started this podcast really was to talk about three things.
But this is good stuff.
I know we're going to get that. We'll finish with that. We're like, that's going to be like our close. Do these three things, hurry up, because we got to get going. But it's really fascinating that we started to have this conversation, and I was sent that article, right?
Yeah.
And we're and again, with
it's almost like somebody was.
This is all about the value of affiliating with CrossFit, and being a CrossFitter, right? That like two major benefits, right here, and it's so incredibly compelling. Everybody gets mired in the social media comments, the posts, the bullshit posts, the calling out, the HQ, those kinds of things. They get so mired in that. And then they ask questions like, what's CrossFit doing for me? Well, CrossFit's not going to come out and clean your equipment. They're not going to come out and message your members that aren't coming. They're not going to come out and change your rates. They're not going to come out and fix your programming. Jamie Lee and I had a discussion about this today. They're not going to do that. That's up to you. And which means it's up to us. The majority of the work is up to us. Yeah. What they're going to do is continue to hold the standard for the methodology, and make it and continue to promote that, so that when people type in, Diablo CrossFit, what's this CrossFit stuff? And they type CrossFit, bomb. They're going to get bombed with all of this amazing content, either from CrossFit, from other affiliates, from anecdotal information, all of this stuff. So, and then the story, like the one that just showed up on the CrossFit website, that featured our coach and athlete Spencer. But then I got this text, Nolan. I can show you the date of I can show you the time of the text. Let me pull it up. So the text came in at 11:45.
Yeah.
From Don Fall, and Don Fall doesn't text me. I mean, he texts me.
Well, he does. But,
he did,
but not commonly.
It's very uncommon. Like, I'm not like Zia's got like a text relationship with him. I don't because I just don't want to. You guys got it.
I'm glad for Don. I'm glad for Don that he does have somebody in the space that he can just talk to. I'm sure that Z is not like on his ass, and it's just nice that Don has. I have nothing but.
I should say, look, I've talked twice about Zia. Look, Zia is the personal coach for Rhonda Patrick, arguably one of the most influential people in the exercise space today. And then also I was on text chat with Don Fall. I've said this, I joke about it. I'm mostly serious. She's probably the most influential affiliate owner in all of CrossFit right now. She's and primarily because she's so damn easy to talk to, and she's common sense.
And she's also putting herself out there too, doing all the mentorships.
She's mentoring all this stuff. But so anyway, back to the text. He sent me this, which is a study that was just released today or yesterday, and it was a study of 1,200 participants. So it was finally accepted. It was published November 8th, 2024. And this is basically a scientific study where they evaluated 1,200 UK residents, and some of whom had chronic disease, and they were studying the impact of chronic disease of CrossFit specifically on chronic disease. So 1,200 participants. In CrossFit training, 54% reported a reduction in medication usage observed.
That's big.
This included 69 participants that discontinued their medication, and 82 reporting significantly reducing medication use within the first 6 months. Younger age groups, 20 to 39 years old, showed greater medication reduction, with 43% of those aged 20 to 29 reducing medication by over half and 27% eliminating it entirely. This is like a punch in your face, amazing results studying specifically. This is a comprehensive research study. This isn't it's
1,200 people. It's not a small study.
1,200 people. And a reputable study. They worked with CrossFit UK, which is a big, very successful gym in Great Britain. But this is just me glossing over the up parts. If Don's sending it to me, obviously it's freaking overwhelmingly good. So again, so now you got clinical evidence. Now we know, like Brian knows, like you know, if I went in there and said, Brian, you got some stories, Brian would go, okay, let me tell you some stories. We'd be there 2 hours later and he still wouldn't have finished the first 10 stories of transformations. And same here. So do we, right?
Every
I just
affiliate
pulled one
is
up. So
full of transformation stories.
Every affiliate, everything.
Every affiliate.
I could just say, hey, I can go to my Facebook group for Diablo, and I could type in there, who's improved their blood pressure.
Yeah.
Is anybody how much is
anybody started on a statin and is now off?
Yeah. Who's like how many people have lost 100 pounds? Like there would be like multiple people raising their hands. And it's powerful that, and to not be a part of that with the detriment to CrossFit and the world. If you are not affiliating and you are not participating, you're doing CrossFit and you're not participating, you are not helping the cause. Fine, your affiliate's great, it runs well, does everything awesome, but if you're not affiliating with CrossFit, you're not helping the global crisis that we have today. You're not helping, because those people leave your gym and they go, hey, where do you work out? Well, I work out at Park City Fit. Well, Park City Fit, what's that? Well, they kind of do CrossFit. It's an ex-CrossFit athlete that, he doesn't find value in CrossFit affiliation. So, but he does CrossFit, and oh, okay. And they have this awkward conversation. But if they say, hey,
I would argue,
Diablo CrossFit, I do CrossFit, it's awesome.
It's a team effort.
Yes, team effort. We have to spread this worldwide. You want to change things? You want to be part of this change? 60% of this Americans are obese. Do you understand what the personal cost to you is for the tax dollars? It's $3,000 per person. I did the math. $3,000 per person in the United States per year.
To pay for sick care?
To pay for sick care. Just to pay for sick care. Hey, we got to just send the fucking bill to everybody. Just like, here's your bill. You got to pay this directly.
Make it more apparent.
Yeah.
Sorry. I decided a long time ago that all my taxes went to Apache helicopters. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just say that every dollar that I give to the federal government only goes to Apache helicopters. I would argue, though, within the space, because echo chambers, I know this anecdotally of my region. Most people participating in CrossFit at the local affiliate have no idea some of the negativities that we're describing about the CrossFit brand. You know who makes way worse decisions on society? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola makes way worse decisions and has had way more blood on their hands, and God knows what sort of evils they have done. And no one bats an eye when they go ahead and throw Santa Claus up there every this time of year. Right. You're like, no, Coca-Cola.
Polar bears coming out.
Yeah, we know you're super insidious. Meanwhile, CrossFit's literally sharing with local affiliates how they're changing people's lives in the UK and promoting exercise for autistic clients here in the Northern California region. But if you go to the echo chambers, you're going to find negativity. And I can't understate this. If we all get under the same banner of CrossFit as a healthcare solution, we will absolutely completely change what this brand is talked about as. We are the razor's edge of fighting chronic disease. We've been on top of this shit for years. We owned this hill. Mm-hmm. CrossFit affiliates, the CrossFit HQ brand. We absolutely, with conjecture, truly own who's fighting chronic disease. CrossFit goes full extension to the elbows. Like we have, and we've been doing it for years, and we've been talking about a whole foods diet based on the block since the zone diet was popular.
I mean, who else is making the claim that they're working on correcting chronic illnesses?
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there at all?
Point. That's a good point. Exactly.
Like, nobody else is claiming that.
Right.
That comes to mind right now. Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
I would argue my doctor isn't.
No.
My doctor didn't give me the opportunity to get all the sweet ass lab values I got this morning from the CrossFit Medical Society. No, I got like a Chem 7 and like a CBC total, complete blood count. I got like some basic electrolyte labs, and they let me know my lipid numbers. No, CrossFit was like, you need to know uric acid, you need to know your testosterone levels, you need to know your like AO1Cs, you need to know your CRPs. Like we are at the razor's edge between CrossFit Medical Society, CrossFit HQ, the affiliates finally having all these resources through like podcasts like this one and others, mentorship programs, both from HQ and others. There couldn't be a better time to make a kick-ass affiliate that you have your region come together, you do exercise together, you talk about eating a whole foods diet and taking care of the people that you care about and sleeping at night. Those 4 things, that will completely change the chronic disease. And we actually have research now that Craig just shared showing all of the benefits of getting off big pharma and getting off the couch, which is all things we've been saying. Go ahead and Google get off the couch. I imagine like 3 or 4 lines down, you're going to find a CrossFit link. You're going to find a CrossFit link. How do I get off the couch? All of a sudden, fucking CrossFit with that old school, like in the living room videos that they did after the, like all that will show up. I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Like that's actually true.
Yes. I have up right now is the CrossFit Medical Society page, and we had Tom. It was cool to have Dr. Tom McCoy on last week or 2 weeks ago to talk about this. But community care is the new healthcare coverage for CrossFit coaches and CrossFit affiliate owners, and it's a crowd share type program. They're doing what's cool is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're doing open office hours where it's basically a Zoom call. You can go in and just ask questions about it and how it works. The cost is $55 a month per person, max output per month, because if someone has an injury and then they need to crowd share to pay for that, the maximum amount is $150 that you're going to have to pay for that crowd share portion. So your max output's probably going to be somewhere around $200 a month, max.
195.
195.
It's not even $200. I've already had one of my CrossFit coaches sign up for community care. It's completely legit. We're doing all sorts of, like, I was talking to Jen yesterday from CrossFit Medical Society, and we are like completely beta testing everything on this website about how easy is it, where are some of the like traps, is there any like hidden fees. MidState CrossFit is like all up in this website, just trying to make it, because I want to explain to people how simple this is and how much of a game changer this thing that we're looking at, this biomarker hub. I just did this morning. I just did this.
This is crazy. This is crazy how reasonable, right?
Yeah. So it's like under $200 for the full blood panel.
For the full blood panel.
Craig, click on it. Go to the next page. I want to see all the labs.
Biomarker.
Which one?
Yeah, under biomarker. Yeah, under the 199. Yeah, click on that.
Yeah. Oops, hang on a second. I clicked on the wrong spot. Here we go. I know what you want me to, where you want me to go. Let me see.
Yeah, there's that whole like bullet section.
Is it taking you to a different page?
Yeah.
If it's taking you to a different page, you got to reshare that page.
No, it's actually taking me to, so the this is Order Labs. Here we go. This is what
can you share that screen?
Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Because it's I know some of these will take you to a different page or different screen, so it just needs to be shared.
I see what you're saying.
Because what it's doing is it's linking you to another website. Yeah.
Just unshare this one and then share the other one.
Yeah, this will be really, really interesting.
Go ahead and share screen.
Because I don't want to like harp on what Tom McCoy is doing with the CrossFit Medical Society, but I'm so excited about this. So not only are you now going to be able to know your deadlift, your 1 mile run, your ability to pull your own body weight, all these cool like markers that are vicarious evaluators of your health. Because I would argue that if you have a blood pressure of 120/80, which is a good blood pressure, but you can't jump, you're not healthy. And if you can't run a mile, like you have to walk sometimes, but your triglycerides are good, quote good, that is not healthy. Now, not only are you going to be able to run a mile, you're going to be able to jump on a 24-inch box as a guy, 20 inches as a girl. You're going to be able to pull your own body weight either through ring rows. Oh, you're here. You found it. It should be coming up. Yep. And then click on, so now click on the biomarkers. Yep, right there.
There we go.
All right. I don't know if you can zoom in on that. No.
Yeah, I can.
All right.
Yeah.
So just right here on these labs right here, and there's 15 or so of them.
Plus you'll zoom.
You would never ever get these if you went to your primary care provider. I was a paramedic for 20 years. I'm still a paramedic. I teach at the local junior college. These labs that you're looking at right here would not be ordered if you were just going to go to your primary care physician. And these numbers, like the first one on top for men and women, testosterone. All right, so that's a sex hormone associated with vitality. Your cortisol levels, that's associated with stress. Cortisol has been heavily linked with things like plaque development in your carotid arteries, or with chronic stress and chronic fatigue. Your lipoproteins, your lipid panels. Some of these, I don't even know what they mean. Like I will have to then go to.
Yeah, you see somebody to decipher it for you, right?
Yeah, the CrossFit Medical Society has a directory, and you'd be like, okay, I got my labs, and I don't have somebody to talk about. And hey, my uric acid level is elevated. Well, come to find out that you've had like foot pain. That was gout, and it's been lingering because you have an elevated uric acid. Your doctor will then say, I want you to eliminate this, and this food, and I want you to have this, and this supplement. And if it continues, let's reevaluate, get another set of labs drawn. This is a complete game changer.
You won't get this comprehensive of a panel with your own personal doctor, and they won't run it. I asked my primary, and he goes, no, I can't.
They won't run it unless there's like
unless there's a symptom.
A symptom
of something. Then they'll run the panel. They might not. They won't. Like,
they might have to run multiple panels in that situation.
If you tell them, hey, I want to run all of these things, they won't do it.
Never. You're never going to get your vitamin D. Never.
No. And here's the big one at the end is the ApoB. Yeah. Because ApoB, they say, is the leading indicator for cardiovascular disease and a significant contributor to correlated with dementia. So so low ApoB. I think it's low. I'm not sure which one, low or high, but ApoB is I
feel like I've heard that through Rhonda Patrick.
Yes, I have heard that through Rhonda Patrick. Right, but that one there is the one, and they tell you if you're getting tested for cholesterol or any of those things related to heart disease, anything that your doctor's going to run, and they'll do this for men that are after age 40, probably now after age 30. They'll run these things because they want to see if they can put you on statins. ApoB is one that they won't run, and ApoB is one that they need to run because that's more of an indicator, not cholesterol, of coronary heart disease. So that test is part of this. This is $199. I've had multiple people tell me that's a deal for this.
Oh, this is. I can't overexpress how much of a deal. I'll spend $199 on groceries and not complete my list. Like this is taking your health by the handles, and you can do stuff with this data. It's not just having data to do data. No, you're a CrossFitter. You're in a CrossFit affiliate. You're going to take this data and you're going to do something with it, and you're going to create positive change because there's somebody walking with you. Either you could go to your CrossFit coach and be like, hey, is there anybody here that would know this? And just like you have a network, we have a network. Yeah, absolutely. For us, it'd be Tiffany Drink, nurse practitioner, functional medicine specialist. Reach out to her. She runs Hydration Well. She'll be able to go through all these labs with you. You'll just pay for a consultation, or you'll become a patient of hers. There's so many opportunities in the CrossFit space to be part of, like, they call it health homes, and or what the affiliate could become in regards to allied health. So you would have, in an ideal world, a physician that knows your name and gives a shit about you. Then you would have a CrossFit coach that would know your name and give a shit about you, create healthy habits, and advocate for you to move your body every day, 4 to 5 times per week.
Give you movement prescriptions.
Yeah, right. Then you have a peer group that is like-minded, aka your friends at your affiliate's class, and you guys do fitness together and hold each other accountable. And you would have the CrossFit Medical Society in case you needed to get with a specialist. You would have You would have HQ putting out stuff like that, autism stuff, inspiring you to be like, oh, we are part of the solution to the world's most vexing problems, right? Once you start to realize that you're in the bubble, you're part of the positive change of society, it can be quite addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the stories we should be telling.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be poo-pooing each other because what do I get for my $4,500? What do you get for $4,500? We're changing the fucking world, bro.
You're part of the team. You're getting the information.
Yeah.
It's only going up. I mean, the last 6 months, the amount of stuff, the last year they've put into the toolkit for affiliates.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
The content they've been putting out there in the last month or so, and it's only going to continue to accelerate.
No question. They're onto it. Like, look, has it taken them a while to figure out? Yes, it's taken them a while to figure out. Has it taken them a while to get the right people in place? Yes, it's taken them a while. And that's awesome. I will, though, tell you this, that before they had all of this great content and all this stuff for affiliate owners, we were still doing great. Yeah. Because there's so much content, other content online that I can share and read and
there's a ton of resources.
There's stuff from other affiliates, other affiliates that I follow. I follow, sweatshops that's here in town. That's like they're 1.2 miles away from Diablo. And he's been around as long as we have. Nabil and his wife, Helen, they run an awesome gym. I see their video content they've been producing over the last 6 weeks. Total gym envy. Like their content has been money. They produce these stories and they've got great vocal backdrops telling the story. The camera, this high quality camera. I'm like, damn,
all the reels.
But I love it because people in this area, in the Bay Area, are going to see that stuff.
Yeah.
And they might go to his gym. They also might go to mine because it's closer. Same thing when we do anything. If someone likes us, they're going to go to and I always tell people, when people come in, I go, how close do you live? I go, is it on the way to the work or on the way home? And they're like, well, no, I'm driving 20 minutes. Okay, all right. That's not going to last.
Yeah.
Like, you'll keep coming here for a while. And after
come
a while,
and check, but we'll help you find a spot that's maybe closer to home.
You're going to get sick of sitting in traffic. You're going to be late, consistently late for class. You're going to be all pissed off. Find one close to home or
last thing you want is to be resentful when you're going to the gym.
Yes, exactly. So
that's a good word to live by for all things, not just
that's a very good point.
Do not walk into institutions resentful right away.
Oh, so true. Well said. Yeah, there's so many reasons. So let me transition because with Brian on, and I know this is what's dangerous with Brian on, we could go and go and go and go.
I think this is important to talk about. I think it was really important to talk about like the future.
I asked what I asked was Brian and Jamie too. I sent him a message. I said, what 3 things would you recommend for, because we're getting on the end of the year and everybody's going to make their resolutions. We all do it. I do it. I have like mental ones. I won't say one out loud, but I've got one in my head that I'm going to do for the next year. What are the 3 things that are your members that you would tell your members or anybody that's in a CrossFit affiliate? What were the 3 things you would have them do to be successful at reaching their goals for 2025? And then let's do the same thing. We'll go through the individuals first, and then let's do 3 things for affiliates. And I can lead it off if you want.
Yeah, Craig,
go for it.
I have some thoughts in my mind.
I got a couple. I don't know if I got full 3.
All right, that's right. That's right. We just, but we're going to throw out some ideas here, and hopefully people can take 1 or 2 things away for themselves. So my number one thing, because I talk about this often with my coaches, for members, this is for members, is one, for 2025, I would strongly recommend that you grind on one thing. And by that, I mean, you've got, whether it's double unders that you've been working on for 5 years or 3 years or 2 years, and you still haven't gotten them, or maybe kipping pull-ups, or maybe butterfly pull-ups, or bar muscle ups, or ring muscle ups, or maybe a lift that you're not strong at. What I want you to do when I say grind at it is not repeat that thing over and over and over again, but find out the accessory work that you need to do. Ring rows, right? Mm-hmm. Lots of ring rows, lots of ring dips if it's muscle ups. If it's double unders, doing the double tap jumps, not trying to spin a rope and kill yourself, every single day, but find one thing and grind it. Because when you get that thing, you're going to look back and go, oh, I've unlocked the key.
Yeah.
Hey, here I've unlocked the lock with it. I found the key to unlock the lock. The second thing I'm going to add is, but just because I'm passionate about it, is add walking. Add walking into your overall fitness regimen, whether it's in the morning, if you're taking a break during the middle of the day at work, or, you know, bring some shoes to work and go for a walk in the neighborhood, or, you know, in the evening, especially after your last meal, just add walking somewhere. I will tell you that I'm 61 years old, but it's brilliant for mental health and keeping yourself lean. I can't overemphasize that enough. And if you want to read Kelly Starrett's, Juliet Starrett's book, Built to Move, because that will emphasize it as well. And then the last thing I'll tell you is plan on 3 times a week. Figure out on your schedule, sit down with your calendar, open it up, plan on 3 days a week. You may come 4 times a week, you may come 5 times a week, but CrossFit 3 times a week, it'll change your life. Mm-hmm. Just get here 3 times a week, whether it's, you know, Saturday and Sunday, and then a weekday. You know, you can always find that hour to get to your CrossFit gym. Those are my 3 things.
Cool. Well, mine kind of overlap a little bit. I think one of the things that I would put out there for most members would be to educate yourself. Just start understanding why we do the things that we're doing, right? Understand what is functional movements, what is work capacity across broad time model domain. Like what are these things that we're coming to the gym, especially a CrossFit gym, and why are we doing that?
Get your L1. You can do your online.
That was my next thing I was going to lead into. But that kind of falls in the lines with the L1, right? Yes. And the more you understand about why we're doing this, the easier it is to stay on track.
I love that.
And at the same time, it might inspire you to do something that you probably wouldn't have done in the first place. Yes. Second thing kind of comes back to what Craig was talking about with the grind. You know, if you're having a hard time with skills and you kind of hit that plateau, don't hesitate, talk to your coach, set up a PT, do something outside of just coming to the class, especially if you're just on a, you know, tunnel vision. It's like, I got my 1 hour. That's great. But if you want to excel, sometimes it needs to take a little bit more outside of the gym, whether it's adding in some mobility at home while you're, you know, before you go to bed, whatever the case is. And then
that's a good one, by the way. I like that one because it helps out the CrossFit coaches. The more CrossFit coaches we have in this world that are successful can continue this, will make CrossFit better for everyone. Sorry.
Yeah. And the last one kind of can also translate into some of the PT stuff. But if you got some kind of nagging injury or something that you've been kind of holding on or trying to put aside or work around, address it. You know, communicate with your coach. Hey, I've got this thing that's been giving me some grief. Do you have any suggestions? Is there a modification that we can do to work around X, Y, and Z, so that way I can still come in and be a part of the community? You know, I think all 3 of these things will be the things that will help continue to move forward. And if anything, maybe advance you to the next level just because you're investing more into it.
Damn, those are good.
You guys are, I feel like I'm playing like I'm just about to just quick. All right,
hey, third time's a charm. You're up.
These are all incredibly important, and I couldn't agree more with everything you guys just said. I have a couple of challenges on that walk, though. No cell phone, no earbuds.
Take it to the next level.
Go for a walk by yourself.
Listen to your breath.
Yes. Just look outside and hear things.
Love it.
And all right, so the things that I would do are all associated with the mindset. All right, the first thing I would do is now, you don't even have to wait till the beginning of the year. Write down a bunch of shit that you would love to get done in 1 year, in 3 years, in 10 years. Just brain dump. Indulge yourself. Everything is possible. And then at the end of the day, I would just write down a couple of things about the day that you really enjoyed. I got 1 double under. I slept 8 hours last night. I called my mom. And just write one thing every day about what you did in that day. And lastly, and I think this is a lost art in the CrossFit space, write what you did in your workout.
Yep.
So that you can see positive adaptation. We should have measurable, observable, and repeatable data as CrossFitters. And if you say that you wanted to do something and you forget that you said that, when you're then able to suddenly do it 12 months later, it's treated in our active mind as an inevitable. But if you can harken back to the thing that you wrote down, I really want to go 50 double unders unbroken. I don't understand why every time I get to 33 reps, what is that? What's that all about? And then all of a sudden you can go to it's August and you run something down at the end of December 2024. You said 50 double unders and you get to go scratch. The dopamine dump that you will get in the positive affirmation of your ability to do things across broad times and modal domain will skyrocket. Your confidence will skyrocket. You will see positive adaptation. But unless you can look back and hearken back to a time prior, all this cool shit, you're missing out on all this cool shit because you're just not seeing it. The scales bullshit, throw that thing away. Take a couple of pictures of yourself now. Look at them later on when you've done all the hard work that these two amazing human beings just challenged you to do. And then look back at what you wrote down about what you wanted to accomplish in life and be freaking proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Boom.
Really good, dude. And I love the mindset stuff. I was thinking about, while you were talking about that, I was thinking about those are things that it's going to annoy the hell out of her, pass on to my daughter. She's 21. And I'm going to challenge her with that. That's fantastic.
I didn't start. So the brain is for thinking, and the pen is for remembering. I didn't quite start doing this until really it was like mid-COVID. And I started to just like write shit down because I needed to get it out of me. And just the act of writing something very simple on a computer, if you want to, on a Google Doc that you never have to share with anybody, it's called journaling. And then mine just started to turn into my WOD blogs. My WOD blogs were just like, I have to get this out of me. And the dopamine release, and honestly, it's gotten a little bit better since I run that shit by ChatGPT these days and could clean up my own words. And all of a sudden, like, oh, wow. Artificial intelligence understands me so well. And thanks, therapist. Thanks, artificial intelligence therapist. And then I share that with the world. It is so cathartic. It's so cathartic, and it makes you sharper. It makes your thoughts more clear. It makes the goals that you're trying to orient yourself toward easier to navigate.
Fantastic. For affiliates, these are three things. These aren't the only three things. These are just three things that I think to make your 2025 a better year. And these are principles that we employ here at Diablo. And it's the nuts and bolts. There's nothing fancy about it. And everyone thinks, well, you must have done something special. No, these are, and then of course I talked to other affiliate owners, successful affiliate owners. I found, oh yeah, they think along the same lines. They do the same things. The first thing, because I have members that attend a lot of affiliates, and I've been to quite a few affiliates. I would say, and something we do here that our members, I get a lot of feedback on this: clean, fix, and paint. Clean, fix, and paint at least once a quarter at a minimum. Clean, fix, and paint. You should not have broken equipment sitting in a corner. Order the extra Concept 2, monitor so you have it available. If something's, broken, or, find someone to fix it if you can't do it yourself. Paint, I painted, we had that totally unofficial regional gathering, and that motivated me, because freaking wall walks and handstand pushups, thank you, Adrian and Dave, ruin our gym walls. And I'm like, I can't have people come in and look at that. And so I got my daughter, and then one of the 16-year-old kid that the son of one of our members came in, and we painted almost the entire gym just for that meeting. So when people walked in the meeting, they're like, whoa, this place is freaking fresh. And that's what our members noticed. I got multiple people that said stuff to me about that. Clean, fix, and paint. Keep things fresh. When you care, or when you do those things, members realize that you care. And when you care, they want to be there. If they sit on a rower and it's broken, or there's a dent in the track where they feel that dent every single time, those little things kind of chip away at their desire to be there. Think about it that way. Every time they come in and it's dirty, like, I don't want to come to a dirty gym. And it's more and more negative equity that builds up in their brain to where they finally go, you know what, I'm going to go to a different place. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to do it on my own. Clean, fix, and paint once a quarter. Next one. Meet with other owners. And this is, almost me talking to myself. Meet with other owners in person at least twice a year. It's a minimum standard. Twice a year. Go to an affiliate gathering, go to summer gathering, organize coffee, something like that. But meet in person, not over Zoom calls, not on the phone. Meet with them in person, have conversation. That meeting we did, and then the one that we did, I was down at in San Diego, the official summit. It was so cool just to sit and talk shop, just like we were doing today. Like it's cathartic for me to sit here and talk to Brian and Jamie about all these things. Like it's really freaking cool. And it gets me motivated and pumped up, and I want to run out and like, you won't believe what I heard. You won't, and I get excited about CrossFit. 18 years into this. I should be bored as fuck. And I'm not. I love it because I keep hearing more and more stuff. And you hear that, and when you hear it in person with other, when you hear it with other owners, it just validates it. And then the last thing is CrossFit is doing some amazing work online, and their content is really good. Unfortunately, I'm the guy that's in charge of Diablo's social media, and I'm okay at it. I get a lot of crap from members, but what's great is I've almost like, if you go back, you might not find very many, except for the Thanksgiving one. Most of it is just reshared stuff.
Yeah.
And I never get any complaints about our social media. We have a pretty big audience, but you should know who John Lovell is. You should know who Linda Segundo is. You should know who Maya Aranda is. You should know who Mike Egan is, and the Michelson family, and the one that they just did with Rebecca Fuselier. Like, those are all amazing stories that Tyson Olderoyd, CrossFit Media, and his team have done, telling incredible transformation stories and life health stories that are directly attributable to CrossFit. And what's cool is there's a anywhere from a 5 to 15 minute YouTube video on each of those stories. Yeah. That's just a few of them. There's I think they're at 11 or 12 stories now, and they're really freaking good.
And they're only going to continue carrying on.
And on top of it, you have Instagram posts as well on those as well that you can just reshare. And that's
Greg,
what
I want to let you know that they're going down to Certus and doing James next.
Oh,
yeah!
What a story! So these are reshare CrossFit stuff. Reshare it when it comes out. Reshare it. Start to help build, and people will attribute it to you. They'll be like, because when they go to your Instagram, all they want validation. Like someone that's thinking about CrossFit, they just want validation. Mm-hmm. I want to know, I've heard about CrossFit. Someone told me about it. I'm going to go see it. And then they watch one of those stories. You watch one of those stories. Holy shit. You see James Sarnick's story. Oh, that's going to be like, you're going to be
fire.
You're going to come into the CrossFit gym crying.
Yeah.
This place, I can't believe that you guys are going to let me be a member. They're so good. Anyway, so those are my three. Jamie, you got anything for affiliates?
Yeah, I got a couple. One, program for everybody. Making sure that your programming is not for a particular crowd, maybe those that want to compete in the next upcoming season, but maybe just kind of focus on GPP. Get your members fit, healthy, and make sure that you are allowing yourself space to modify and keeping the modifications varied enough so that way they're still having fun and getting a constantly varied experience. Versus just, I'm doing ring rows over and over and over again. Have some variance to your modifications. So having some kind of a plan. So as far as like an action plan, write out some plans. Write out, here's a movement. Here's a list of movements that we can use as a modification. And whether that's posted up somewhere in the gym or the coaching is, well aware of who's coming into class if they need to know somebody needs to modify. It makes that way better all around.
I had a member, just to respond, respond to my last email because I do a weekly email, and she said, "Hey, here's something to think about." She goes, "What do you do? She goes, "You should write an email or in your story about what someone should do if they look at the workout of the day and they can't do any of the things that are listed in it." She goes, she goes, "I still come in and the coaches help me scale and adjust." She goes, "But man, there's days when I'm really scared to come in because I can't do any of the things." And that resonated with me. I was like, damn.
I got a comment on that. That kind of goes back to my list of one thing to do for members is educate yourself. Yes. Understand the general archetype of a movement pattern, whether you're doing a pull-up, what kind of muscle groups are we trying to recruit?
Yeah.
How else can I do that? It says having a little bit more of an insight of what we're trying to do in the gym, it's easier to kind of do it solo, right? I mean, that was one thing that we always talked about is whether you're doing CrossFit here or CrossFit in your gym, we want to teach you how to do it so that way you can replicate it elsewhere. Granted, it's always going to be better here because you've got the community to push.
Yeah.
Second, assess your functional space. Look at your gym, look at your space. Is there something that's not working? Is there a piece of equipment that's not getting used? How can you make it better? Right? It's kind of going back to Kaizen.
That's fun to do, by the way, too. When you rearrange and
it's so much fun.
And you make it more efficient. I walk in kind of like, oh yeah, dude, I love that I got ski ergs out here now.
Yeah.
When we couldn't find a place for them. Yeah.
And then the last thing is educate. Kind of come back to it. Continue your education.
As affiliate owner.
Yeah, as an affiliate owner, or even just as a coach. I just recertified my level 3 with my level 4 insights, and at the same time, kind of going through some of the, even just the online certifications that they have now on CrossFit. It's pretty extensive. They've got masters, they've got educators, they've got anatomy program. I mean, there's a ton of different certifications, but the more that you continue to educate yourself, the more you're going to be able to bring to your classes, to your coaches, to your community. That's my 3.
How about you, Brian?
I really think that we were founded on the idea of CrossFit affiliates being educational sites. I mean, we're gonna, at this point,
right.
The theme of this podcast is going to be like, she has to change her name from CrossFit Counterculture to just CrossFit the Culture, and because there's nothing counter about it anymore. But at the base of this thing that we've been a part of is education, which both of you, Jamie and Craig, you both had brought it up, and is in mine as well. So there's a theme: educate, entertain, and inspire. This is all part of the very kernels of what we all got into back in the day. And when I think educate, I think it's the inside your affiliate opportunity to have that coach-athlete relationship, which I talked about at the unofficial meetup of like, own it. If you're going to be the coach, be the teacher. And if you're going to be the teacher, talk about stuff that you're excited about. Are you an awesome runner? Figure out why you're an awesome runner, and then make someone else an awesome runner, because you now understand gait and pacing and breath work, and just teach the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. Really get people jazzed up with that. They're coming to you because you're their coach, and you've got them. You're on the path with them. You can't wait to see them do some like Rocky Balboa type shit, and you're, come on, Rock, you're just in the background being their biggest fan. That like, own it. So I guess my first one is like educate, but educate in the idea of give back to your athletes. So not only when they do, oh man, we're doing muscle ups today. I can't do ring muscle ups. I want a bar muscle up. Now you're going to add this new thing. Just let them know that it's the exercise of getting up and over something. It's making the transition from being underneath something to on top of something. And we are going to figure out something that works for you, because I'm your coach, or my coaching staff. I've educated them on, you are their coach and you shall guide them. So that's my first one. Own the idea that you're a mentor. The second one is entertain. I mean, get outside of your affiliate. Go into the community. Challenge them to go for rucks outside. Have something fun to do after. Get coffee in the morning and go for a run. Get on bikes and just be renegades. Go up to your local ski resort with friends and make it a CrossFit event. Hey guys, we're all going to pick your place, and have people get outside of the gym, mingling outside of the everyday, the workout of the day. Own the idea that you're running a community center, that this is people's third spaces, that they enjoy being around one another, and allow those conversations and those tighter bonds to form through friendship. You're cultivating it as the affiliate owner or the coaching staff. Allow people the opportunity to really talk with one another, because they've already seen what doing hard work next to this person looks like, and they already vibe with one another. Let them go, and hey, we're going to the local driving range. You know what's going to happen when you have a bunch of like strong CrossFit athletes that don't know how to swing a golf club go and they get a bucket of balls? Dude, it's going to turn into a freaking workout right there. They're just they're shanking it and cranking it, like, and now and people will talk about it for days, and that's such low hanging fruit. It doesn't have to be complicated. Hey, 2 Fridays from now, we're going to the local driving range. It's at this such and such address. If you'd like to RSVP, we'll be able to get some wings, whatever. And if you want to charge everybody a head count so that you don't have to pay for the wings out of pocket, they want to go anyway. They don't know what to do with their Friday either. And my third one is inspire. Don't be afraid to kind of lean into threshold training a little bit. There's a lot of athletes out there that, or coaching staff that'll put all of their focus on that new person because they just want us to love us because we're trying to change their lives. But just, we can't quite say it that way. And what I want you to kind of dive into is challenge people to maybe do an internal comp, get a little like weightlifting challenge out there, be biased for a little while and be like, hey, we're going to focus in on the snatch because in 6 weeks on Saturday for whatever, $20, 50-50 raffle, winner takes 50 for the rest of the affiliate, will pay for food or whatever, and go ahead and see what people can do. Allow them the opportunity to feel young, feel athletic, inspire them that they are able to break that 7-minute mile time and dangle a carrot there for them to now have to do more running intervals, go to the track and try a little bit, get into the couple of weekends long seminar. Screw it. Get somebody else to come in and teach a gymnastics course. There's a place up the road, Gymnastics Unlimited in Turlock, California. I'm trying to sucker them to come down into CrossFit and be like, hey, I will pay you to just come here and just do what you already do with children, but for adults.
Yeah.
And then inspire them to be like, you can get a pull-up. Like, you can. And if you've heard me 10 million times and we haven't quite gotten there, look, I brought a really accomplished gymnast here and they're going to kick some serious ass and you're going to get to listen to how they do it. And then they'll be inspired to do all the accessory work that Jamie was talking about and get them, because it's not just you anymore. You've put them in a situation to thrive because you run this badass community center that we call a CrossFit gym. Like, Craig, how old are you again?
61.
61. I saw a ad the other day that said, go into a stadium of 50,000 people.
Yes.
100 people will be able to do one pull-up and 1,000 will be able to run a mile out of 50,000 Americans. So you're a 61-year-old that can do a pull-up. That's inspirational. Mm-hmm. I bet you if you did a even poorly executed reel of you doing pull-ups, saying how old you were and showing how many pull-ups you can do, and then show those stats in like the comment section, bro, you would be changing the world.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I saw those stats too. Forget where I saw.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a crazy. Yeah,
100 out of 50,000 people in a stadium, 100 could do a pull-up. Craig, 61 years old, can do pull-ups. How many people above the age 55 can do a pull-up in America? That's inspirational. Share that story.
Yeah. It's a great stories.
It's awesome, man.
Really cool, dude.
Yeah.
Well, right on. That's our that's our top three.
My crazy.
We're gonna clip the hell out of those and post those because those are like that. Those are all really good. There's some good stuff there for affiliates and for individuals for 2025. Brian, appreciate you being on, taking the time.
Thank you.
I know I said I have a hard out at 1, but it's not like super duper hard. I just wanted to really express my gratitude for you having this platform, not only for myself, but for so many other people that are turning to you, turning to CrossFit Diablo, and seeing that there really is an opportunity for growth, and there's an opportunity to put yourself out there, and that if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to make a bigger difference beyond just the 4 walls of your affiliate, there's avenues that are available to you. I mean, you come from a legacy of like, Barbell Shrugged is an old one that used to used to say, like, there's a lineage of this that exists, and like PRs all day is like a part of that story arc, and just keep on painting these stories for people, because it's important to know that it exists. And if I'm a small piece of that puzzle, 1, I'm super honored, and 2, I can't wait what it creates.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
No, you're
right.
you guys.
Yeah. It's a hour 10. Nice job. Hour 15. Cool. We're out. Thank you.
Till next time.